Now, I've been on a waiting list in Cork since 2013. 2013, it's a disgrace. I mean, when you get to a certain age, I think they just don't want to bother with you anyway. Now, you could, if you had private insurance, you'd have no problems, like. So it's very sad, like, that you're thrown to the wolves.
So what was your motivation for starting this, and what brings you out here this morning so early?
Well, it's unbelievable to think that people have left West Cork, places like Clonakilty and Skibbereen and parts of Cork City and Kerry and Dublin and Limerick this morning, and probably some of them maybe never went to bed last night. People of 70, 80, 90 years of age going blind in the want of a 20-minute surgical procedure that can't take place in their own county, the county of Cork, where I live. I suppose the motivation was the people coming to my clinic, pleading with me to get cataract procedures carried out, as I said, 20-25 minute procedure, and they're going blind. And they've been told it could take anything from 3 to 5 to 6 years before they'd have that operation. I was at the Ploughing Championship in 2017, and I stumbled across this solution, which has become an incredible solution as such. When I met the Kingsbridge Private Hospital, a person who was there, and explained to me the running of the scheme, the EU, as it was called at the time, EU Cross-Border Initiative. Now it's called the Northern Ireland Healthcare Initiative. And 83 buses later, this is the 83rd bus, is leaving. This is more a nationwide bus this morning. It's taking in people from Limerick, Tipperary, Dublin, and obviously Cork and Kerry, on their way to Belfast to save their eyesight. And like, I suppose, I look back over our history. My grandmother went blind, and I remember as a 10 and 11 and 12-year-old child going to the local hospital to feed her every day in Skull. And I suppose, you don't forget things either. And, there's one thing about talking about open heart surgery, but Lord God, when they can't have simple eye surgery, when you think the state lists their people that worked hard all of their lives, let them down to that point that they can't even get a simple 20-minute procedure carried out in their own local hospital like Bantry, Mallow or Cork Hospital, instead of having to go all the way to Belfast.
Up until the mid-70s or even the 80s, it was no problem to get the cataract removed in your own local hospital. Now, with the HSE, like a lot of other things, it's so hard to get it, and the waiting lists are so long. I've known people that were waiting 6 and 7 years before they got their cataracts removed in Belfast. So the word is, go to Belfast or go blind. That's the way the story is here in the 26 counties.
So what county are you coming from today?
I'm from Cork, near Kinsale.
So that's a long way to travel.
Oh, it is, yeah, but sure we have to. We've no other choice. We won't get done in Cork anyway, that's for certain.
And it's the eye surgery you're going for?
Yes, I was up in Derry. I came up on the 10th of December before for this eye. This is done, so it is perfect. So I'm going to Belfast now for this one.
And the last surgery was a success?
Oh, complete success. It was brilliant, brilliant.
Was it very important to you that you get this procedure today?
Oh, it is very important altogether, because you see, my optician said that he wouldn't let me have a driver's license if I didn't have the procedures done. Now, I've been on a waiting list in Cork since 2013. 2013, it's a disgrace.
What do you think of the fact that you can't get a procedure like this in your own county?
Oh, it's bloody awful. It is awful. Like, do you know what I mean? It's disappointing. I mean, when you get to a certain age, I think they just don't want to bother with you anyway. Now, you could, if you had private insurance, you'd have no problems, like. Because my cousin had private insurance, and they got the 2 eyes done in the course of 6 weeks, So it's very sad, like, that you're thrown to the wolves, like. If you know what I mean.
Of course, eyesight problems are always serious, no matter who you are. But I think, do you think that in rural Ireland it's a much bigger issue because of the fact that everything's spread out?
It is, because the trouble is, you see, you have to have transport. I'm out the country as well, like, what I mean. And to go anywhere, you have to have a car, like, you know what I mean. So I was getting very nervous then, for fear of danger. I wouldn't get my license, so I decided. We got on to Michael Collins in Bandon, and sure, he got me on the bus nearly straight away. And it was brilliant. And we got done in Derry in the private house. We were the first lot to get done in Derry. the first bus. And it was brilliant. It was Christmas time. They treated us like royalty. It was fantastic. I mean, if the Queen was there, she wouldn't have been treated so well, I said to them.
So where are you starting from? What county are you from originally?
Down here in West Cork, Clonakilty, Peddler's Cross, or maybe people know Ballinascarty, where Henry Ford's great-grandfather came from.
So that's a long way to travel today.
Well, it's worth it, what I'm going to have done tomorrow. I can't read and struggling to drive. Cannot drive in the night time because is all I'm seeing is white lines. I've only got 10% eyesight in my other eye with no cataracts on it. So my left eye, good eye, is really affected. So it was very important. I got an early appointment, but he told me there last week I would be waiting another 18 months.
Do you think it's a shame that you can't get a procedure like that down in Cork?
It's disgusting. I mean, we can come up to Belfast. A private hospital in Belfast can actually, there's 20 people on this bus? So I guess half of them, 10 people, is having their cataracts removed. Why can't the South do it?
So what brings you guys down here today?
Well, my wife is getting her cataracts done in her eyes. Well, she has two of them to do, but she only can get one eye done today.
Where are you coming from originally?
We're coming from a place called Mallow. Mallow is in North Cork, in County Cork.
And that's a long way to travel, obviously. Why was it very important for you to get this done now?
Oh God, it was very important because she finds it very hard to see, you know. And you know, to tell you the truth, like, I was getting away with murder there for a long time, like, but she's getting improved now, and I think I'll be cut to do a lot of jobs when I go home. I have to feed the hens and the cattle and all that, and the dogs and the cats.
What do you think of the fact that you can't get a procedure like this in Cork itself?
That's very bad. But they'll do it all right, but you're going to wait 3 or 4 years. Do you know what I mean? It could be 6 years. And like, you have to come up here all the way from the north to get it done. I know you get reversed, like, but still, like, it's a long journey for cataracts.
I'll tell you, I have 2 aunts that's gone blind, and I've only 1% sight on this eye and 2% on this eye. So it's a have to that I have to get them done.
Have you heard of people going blind from a lack of this procedure?
Of course I have. And I have known people that went up and maybe one eye was saved and they couldn't save the other one. But most of the people that went up on these buses, 99% of them were 100%. They came back with 100% vision. There's a lot of people that have gone up to get their hips and their knees done. We organised that. And to get many other procedures done that they'd be waiting too long here for suffering pain, suffering agony in the garden until they go to Belfast to get this procedure done. And what we see up there is that the hospital works around the clock 24 hours each day, the 7 days of the week. That doesn't happen here in the south of Ireland. I had a grandmother, she lived to be 97, but the one thing that she always worried about was going blind, or as she used to say, going dark.
Like, so many more that tell me and have told me I'd rather be dead than go blind. And it's a sad reflection of the state of this country to think that they'd leave people go blind rather than looking after their eyesight. The HSE, as far as I'm concerned, is a spent force. And we've been years and years inside that doll there talking about him. You look at all the top brass, Paul Reed and all them, look at the money they're getting. They're not, nobody's worth that money. No human being is worth that money. He should have been out here this morning. He should be talking to these people. He should be coming up with a solution, and him and other professionals that are paid astronomical fees. Their expenses are for their cars are more than what most people get in their wages, or maybe a couple getting their wages per week or per year. It's outrageous, and to think these people, this bus is full of people having to head to Belfast, and I have another one again organised, and Denny Healy with me in the next week and a half. It will be leaving West Cork again at some unearthly hour of the morning. I pleaded with the Taoiseach, Micheál Martin. He's ignored the pleas of the people of Cork. He should be ashamed of himself. That's the facts. That's the facts of this. That's what's happening here.